Hey, what's up everybody? Pete with Auto Repair Tips. In this video, I'm working on a 13 Jeep Wrangler. Customer says he turns the heat on, there's no heat at all. He said he's replaced the thermostat 2 times because that's what he thought it was, and he still has no heat. Let me show you what I found. I went ahead and I hooked my scanner to it, and I did a health check on it. It's got quite a few issues, but the only thing we're concerned with right now is going to be the heat. And if you look right here, it says the main left side temperature door circuit performance is incorrect or not operating correctly. So we're going to look into this code just a little bit more. I got a feeling this is probably going to be his problem. If you hit right here, it says replace the HVAC temperature blend door. That is the #1 repair for this problem. All right, let's jump on the computer and let's see if we can locate where that door is. So I went ahead and stuck the code in the computer. And if you go down here and look, go to like remove and replace. The one we're working with is going to be the blend door actuator. It's not the mode. The mode tells you like if you want the floor, the vents, or the defrost. The recirculation is going to be for outdoor air and indoor air. So we're going with this one here. And if you read it, it looks like it's right under the driver's side of the dash. So before I replace it though, we're going to get the thermal imager, let the vehicle warm up a little bit, and I'm going to take some readings on the hoses going into the vehicle and see what they are. One goes into the heater core, the other one comes out. And if you look at it, each one's about 205, 210 degrees. So there's nothing wrong with that. You got plenty of hot water going in and coming out. So your problem's gonna be inside that car. So now I'm gonna jump inside the car and I'm gonna take some readings out of the vents. So the temperature of the car, like I said earlier, is about 225 degrees. And the gauge is right where it should be. If you look at the imager, it's only about maybe 70 degrees going through the vents, and we've got it on hot as it'll go and through the vents, and she's blowing, like I said, it's about 70 degrees. So we don't have any heat coming out of any of the vents. Those are the two in the middle. It's about the same on the end, and that one is about the same also. All right, so after looking at the readings, we're definitely going to go with the blend door actuator motor. That's going to be the one that controls the temperature. I'm going to go ahead and get that part ordered. We'll get it here and I'll show you how to replace it. All right, to get to that actuator motor, we're going to start by removing this panel right here. It's just under the steering column and it just kind of pulls off. You just pull it off and set it aside. No real special tools required for that. There's a little metal plate here, and that's a 10 millimeter that holds them on. It's only about an hour project total. So it's not really super hard to get to. Alright, let's sit here and move this out of the way. Come on. Doing this one hand is a pain in the butt. There we go. Alright. And that just kind of slides up. There's a little brain box right here that you have to get out of the way. There's 2 8 millimeters to hold it on. One is on the top and one is on the side. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out and then show you where the locations of the 2 8 millimeters are. I think that's going to be a little bit easier for you to see if I do that. There's one, and that other 8 millimeter is located just to the right side on the back side of it. Once you get that out, that box will just come out just like this. And that's the box. All right, so looking at the actuator, that is located right here. This is your actuator motor, and it's held on with 2, it looks like Phillips head screws, I believe it is. So we'll go ahead and get that out. Once we get that out, we'll get it unplugged, get the new one installed. So just remember, once you replace this motor, this actuator motor, it needs to be reprogrammed. You can either go online and get the procedure yourself, or I guess pay someone else to do it if you don't have a scan tool. I have a scan tool, so that's what I'm going to use. There's 2 Phillips head screws that hold it on. You should be able to get up in there with a screwdriver and get them off pretty easily. There's one. And the other one is located on the top side. The motor should just slide out. Once you get it out, you're gonna have to unplug it. I had to put the camera down for a second, but I went ahead and unplugged the gas pedal because that wire was running right across the front of it, and it just made it a little bit easier. I mean, you could have fought it and going around it, but the extra 3 seconds makes it easier. Gotta switch hands. Can't do it that way. So again, I had to put my camera down because I had to use 2 hands. But here's the plug for it. There's a little tab on it. You just push it and it pulls right out. And this is the actuator motor. I'm pretty sure it's not going to come with this extra arm here. You're going to have to put that arm on there. All right, we'll go ahead and get the new one ordered and get it here and put it on. So we just got the part in. It's a Dorman part, 604029. So it's like I thought. The new one's not going to come with the arm, but you got to pay attention when you put it back. It needs to go in the same spot as the one on here. So I went ahead and went the extra mile for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Plus it's a little bit easier rather than having to work behind this. This duct just snaps on. You just pull it out and it comes out. And this is the arm I was talking about back here. So when you put the actuator on there, that little bracket has to go in here, and this opens and closes the flap that's inside the housing to give you your heat or cold or whatever you're asking for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook it up, start it up, get it reprogrammed, get the heat going, and make sure everything's working correctly and moving correctly. And if it is, we'll put it back together. So I'm kind of having to show you this in stages with the light off because there's just no room to get a camera in my hands up there like I said before. This is what it looks like when it's in place. It sits in place here, and that's how the arm goes in. And one Phillips head screw will go here and the other one goes up there. Once you got it in place, go ahead and get the bottom screw in. That's the easiest one to get in. And like I said, you bastard. Alright, put the camera down again. So I put a pry bar in there to kind of hold it in place so you can kind of see what I'm doing. But once you get the bottom screw in, it shouldn't go anywhere. Now I'm gonna get the top screw in and we will continue on with the program. Get this thing plugged in. Make sure you hear it snap in. Now that we got it together, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in a little brain box. Let's start it up and let's program it. Make sure it's gonna work correctly. Previous vehicles, vehicle history. Jeep Wrangler, we're already there. It's correct. So we're gonna go down and we're gonna look at service resets and relearns. We don't want to change tire size. Alright, before we align engine, we're going to go down to heat and air, body controls, brakes, doors, heating and air, okay? So we got a climate control, the HVAC actuator, the blower motor, and the compressor. We're going to start with the HVAC one. We're going to do both of them. Okay, functional resets and calibrations here. Front module position. Collecting the data. Recirculate door on. Off. Let's Flip it back. I can hear it working, so we're okay. Do the recalibration. Continue. Calibrating in progress. While it's calibrating, you could see it was moving back there in the back. There it is, see it? So it's setting the different positions now and recalibrating everything. All right, actuator case failed. One or more actuators failed to calibrate. Let's check it out. Let's go back here, go back one. Do a climate control. She did have a ton of other codes in the car, and it could be something else causing it not to calibrate also. But what we're going to do is, regardless of what happens, I'm going to start it up, get the car operating temperature, and turn the heat on and take some readings. Because like we saw before, it was barely in the, I think it was like 70 to 80 degrees. Can't really remember. Old age is getting to me. So the floor calibration passed, the recirculation failed, and the temperature one passed. It's the one that goes from fresh air to hot air. That's the one that failed. So that could be giving us an issue too. But right now, let's go ahead and start it up and let's see if we have heat. So we're looking good. This is a picture of the two vents that are right under the radio. They're blowing anywhere from 140 to 150 degrees. We'll snap a picture of that for the customer. I forgot to snap one last time for the customer, showing that it was only like about 70 or 80 degrees. All right guys, I only got a few things to button up and this job is done. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Catch you later.